Hello everyone and welcome to Ocean Cadence. In our video today, we'll be covering a very important topic of centrifugal filters for the lubricating oil system in the auxiliary engines. When we talk about lubricating oil cleanliness in auxiliary engines, most of us always immediately think of the duplex filters or the auto backflush filters. But there is another very clever device that is installed in the system, which is the centrifugal lubricating oil filter. So in this video, we'll be breaking down exactly how this centrifugal filter works using the diagram as our reference point, and we'll also go component by component to understand how it is getting driven and how the oil flows through it and how the cleaning actually happens. We'll also discuss some common maintenance points and issues around the filter. So let us start now. First of all, the most common question that we would come across is why do we need such a centrifugal filter in the system for the lubricating oil cleaning at all? So, the most important point here to understand is that lubricating oil in auxiliary engines continuously picks up carbon particles, sludge, oxidation byproducts, and fine metal wear debris. The main key point here to understand is that most of these particles are extremely fine and often small enough to pass through the conventional mesh and other filters. However, a centrifugal filter works without the traditional filter elements. It uses the centrifugal force instead of a fixed traditional mesh size to continuously remove very fine and high density contaminants. It uses a traditional paper insert as a very fine filtering element to provide us cleaner oil as an output and thereby allowing us to prolong the use of oil for a longer period. Now, the next question or the basic understanding is how do these filters work? So, in a very layman terms, the unit is simply a high-speed rotating bowl and can also be regarded as a rotor, which means that dirty oil enters the filter, the rotor spins at several thousand RPM, and due to centrifugal force because of the rotation, the clean oil moves inward and heavy dirty particles are flung outward and stick to the wall or the paper that separates the thin area. So now, before we get a deeper understanding of the component, let us break it part by part and understand. The first would be the housing and the cover, which is the first part starting from the outside. The housing is responsible for enclosing the entire assembly and it contains the oil pressure from the outside atmosphere and collects the separated dirt and sludge. The rubber O-rings ensure oil tightness and prevent external leakage. The oil entry and the nozzle is the part where the oil enters the filter body through the oil inlet passage as shown at the bottom. From here, the oil is directed towards the nozzle. The nozzle is extremely important because it converts the oil pressure into high velocity jet. And these jets are what actually cause the spin of the rotor, which means that it is the conversion of the energy basically from the pressure to the high velocity status that induces the spin into the rotor, which means that if there is no nozzle, there would be no rotation and therefore no centrifugal cleaning. The rotor and the rotor cover comprise the heart of the system, which is the rotor assembly. And the rotor consists of the rotor body, cover, and the rotor nut. So the oil jet exits the nozzle tangentially and the rotor spins rapidly. But inside the rotor, the oil also moves upward, spins along with the rotor, and heavy contaminants are thrown outward and stick to the paper surface closer to the inner wall layer. The rotor is also supported on a central shaft, and the key supporting components include an upper bush, lower bush, and thrust washer. These are the components that carry the rotor weight and maintain the alignment and also allow free high-speed rotation. Anywhere down in these components or any misalignment can result into rotor wobbling and reduced RPM and poor separation efficiency. Now, another important part is the deflector and the paper insert. So, a lot of designs include a deflector and a paper insert element within the filter. The deflector allows the flow of oil to occur smoothly and prevents turbulence, whereas the paper inserts act as a secondary trapping surface to capture the loose sludge during the operation of the filter. Bear in mind that a lot of older designs might not use paper inserts, and the centrifugal force will only remain the primary cleaning mechanism in such designs where the sludge adheres only to the inner layer of the surface. The oil drain and the valve assembly is the place once oil has done its job inside the rotor, that is, by providing the rotation and also simultaneously getting cleaned. Then the clean oil flows downward and returns to the engine sump or the lubricating oil system. The other assembly that we see, including the valve plug, spring, and valve plunger, are the components that regulate oil flow, prevent backflow, and maintain stable operation. So the next question is, how is the filter driven? Because there are a lot of times certain small confusions with the centrifugal filter, one of which the very common doubt is the drive of the filter. So as I have clarified before, the drive for the centrifugal filter is because of the conversion of the pressure into high velocity through the nozzle assembly and thereby the tangential throw of the oil, which imparts the rotation to the rotor and then thereby the centrifugal separation of the oil. So it means, is there any external driving assembly that is driving this filter? The plain and simple answer for it is no. The filter is entirely self-driven by the hydraulic means where the lubricating oil pressure and then its simultaneous conversion into high velocity is the only method of drive that helps to rotate the filter and thereby impart the centrifugal action. Which also means that higher the oil pressure, higher would be the rotor RPM. And thus, this creates no need for an external motor or an external drive, making it a very simple and robust and elegant piece of machinery. To summarize the process of flow and purification of oil, let us go through the steps again, where the dirty oil enters through the inlet and is directed to the nozzle, and the nozzle or the nozzle jet basically then pressurizes and directs the oil, which basically spins the rotor. The oil along with it swirls at high RPM inside the rotor, and centrifugal force throws the heavy particles outward, where the dirt sticks to the paper filter element or to the wall depending upon the design, and the clean oil moves inward and goes downward and thereby drains back into the system. This means there would be no filter clogging or no typical differential pressure buildup as we commonly see in a lot of other filter designs, which also means that the cleaning life and the overall efficiency of such filter is high. But bear in mind that due to the limited space availability and the limited flow accessibility, these filters are usually small in size. So the rate of separation or basically the rate of flow through this system would still be in a controlled manner. That is why these filters are an additional mean but not the main means of separation or main means of cleaning or keeping the oil in a ready state. Another very important aspect is the common maintenance and the operational practice around these filters, where we understand that over a period of time, the sludge would build up inside the rotor. So, the typical maintenance that would include is the first of all, the isolation of the entire system where there is no circulation of oil and the depressurization of the lube oil side. And thereby, typically, to clean these filters, you'll open the cover with the correct size of the spanner and the securing assembly and then go forward to remove or withdraw the rotor. And after opening up the rotor assembly by holding it in the designated vise or the tool and rotating the bottom part counterclockwise, you would open the rotor into its subparts and then scrape off the accumulated sludge and also clean the walls or the surface where the sludge is accumulated. You also need to clean the nozzles carefully so that the flow is continuous and at the correct velocity and pressure. We need to understand that blocked or worn out nozzles would, as I've stated before, lead to low rotor speed and poor oil cleaning. Other common checks will also include the inspection of upper and lower bushes and the thrust washer wear down. As I've said, that this can cause rotor rubbing, vibration, and also reduced separation efficiency. In case if the O-rings are hardened or damaged, it can lead to external oil leaks or the internal short circuit and bypass of the system, which can also reduce to improper or complete lack of separation and purification, and thereby also simultaneous pressure loss in the filter system. To close our entire explanation, in very simple terms, the centrifugal filter uses basic physics and nothing hi-fi to continuously remove the fine contaminants. The best part is this filter is self-driven using lube oil pressure and has an extended period of operation and efficient separation, which means it helps a lot in extending the usage of oil and improving the engine parts life significantly. So it is also a very important part of the entire auxiliary engine lube oil circuit as a practicing four or third engineer on board ships, and you would often need to be familiar with this component and know the basic principle of how it operates to make sure that it does operate efficiently and also the overhaul or the cleaning is carried out efficiently. Also, to know more about such important machineries or important components, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your colleagues and other mates. Do not forget to like our video and follow our other playlists and other videos in the chronology and familiarize yourself with those concepts in depth. Thank you.